1, 2, 3. This is the Cider Ranch Podcast. I'm Ben.
And I'm Mike.
Disingenuous, not candid or sincere, typically by pretending that no one knows less about something than one really does. Disingenuous is exactly how I would describe, for whatever reason, the last podcast we just did. I don't know why, it sounded weird to me.
You really didn't like the last one.
I didn't like it. I don't know what it was. It sounded weird. It sounded forced. I don't know if it was just me or if maybe you felt that way too, but it was really uncomfortable. And I, for some reason, kept cringing the whole way and I couldn't handle it. And it was weird.
I think that's fair. I think that there are going to be cringeworthy moments. I think that this is funny, but I am saying this in a real way. We are still learning, but at the same time, there are going to be these moments that we are going to look. So some things might have been forced, sure, but we have to grow.
We are still
getting our feet wet.
And let's get right into the news.
Literally the thing that we said we weren't going to do.
And we did.
We did it anyways.
Okay, so today on this episode of the Cider Ranch Podcast, we have a guest today. Ben, would you like to introduce our guest?
I would. Hi, babe.
Hi.
This is my lovely wife, Erin. How long have we been together? It'll be 2 years in.
Well, we've been married for 2 years. We've been together.
No, it'll be July. Oh my God. I just literally messed up our anniversary.
Normally, I'm the one that doesn't know our anniversary. You're the one that messed
Hold
up.
on. Is your anniversary
sad.
your anniversary is May 5th, right?
Yeah.
2018?
Yeah, so we've been married.
Cinco de Mayo.
We've been married for 2 years, and we've been together like 7.
Like 7, 8?
Yeah, a long time.
Wow. That's a long time.
Not that long, but
But yeah, it probably feels like not that long, but it has been a long time when you really put it into context, right? That's
with
pretty
this
cool.
one, yeah.
There it is.
I can be hard to live with. I know that. Yeah. So yeah, we kind of wanted to change up this episode. We wanted to chat about how we went to Ireland, and we wanted to chat about that.
All of us went to Ireland.
We all did go to Ireland.
Not together.
No.
So
Ben and Erin went to Ireland for their honeymoon, and me and my wife Caroline went to Ireland the year before.
I think it was the year before.
Yeah, we went on a trip. So basically, I want to hear about your guys' experiences there. So you went to Ireland. Did you just go to Dublin, or did you go to other places as well?
No, we traveled. Like, we actually did a complete road trip around the coast of Ireland. Mm-hmm. So we drove a lot. Yeah, it was.
I think we ended up driving over like 1,000 kilometers.
No, actually, we didn't drive a lot. You drove a lot.
I drove a lot.
Yeah.
And the weirdest thing, I just want to say this right off the bat. So picture, driving in North America. You drive on the left side, on the right side of the road. And in the left lane, it's the fast lane. When you're over in Ireland, in Europe, it's totally different. So you drive on the right side of the car.
No, the right lane is the fast lane. It's the opposite.
You're right. The right lane was the fast lane.
But you're still driving in the left lane.
You are.
You are
on the left side.
No, you're driving. So you're driving on the
left side of the
left
road.
side, but on the right side of the car, and the right lane is the fast lane.
Yeah,
and that was weird to get used to.
Because you merge on and off from the left.
Oh, weird.
So it's like the opposite.
Yeah, they're called motorways. Yeah. So when you drive onto it too, like there will literally be a gas station that is right off of what we would consider the highway. Okay. So you need to literally get up to speed super fast
to get to
it. Is really
There's no
tough.
merge.
Yeah, there's no merge. Yeah. There's no like off exit ramps and that kind of thing. But I think the first thing that we noticed obviously was that it was so gorgeous. The fact that there were castles, castles that are just waiting to be seen as soon as you get off like the main highway. Like it was a bit to get out of Dublin, which kind of felt like Vancouver, but when you got out of it and into the countryside, like the castles were just gorgeous.
Or even in the city, like we were in Cork, and you're looking over
beautiful.
You look over the horizon, and it looks like Vancouver. as if you were in Vancouver looking at the horizon of all like the size skyscrapers and everything. But all of a sudden you see like these popped up like cathedrals and castles like sporadically around, and it's kind of, it's neat.
Would you say Cork has like a Vancouver vibe to it, or does it just kind of look like Vancouver a little bit?
I actually felt, sorry, were you gonna say something? I was gonna say that Cork actually to me actually kind of felt like Langley. I felt like Dublin was kind of the major city.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I would disagree though. I'm sorry.
Belfast felt like Vancouver because we went to Northern Ireland too.
Yeah. And I would disagree though. I wouldn't necessarily say that the cities felt like cities here. I would say that the landscape felt like more landscape here.
Yeah.
Like the greenery part of it. I don't know. What do you think? Do you feel like that?
I felt that a little bit. We stayed mainly in Dublin though,
Mm-hmm.
so we didn't actually like, because you guys went to Belfast, you guys drove a lot. We stayed mainly in Dublin, so we did a lot of transit and stuff locally. So we really explored the city. But no, when we got a ride back to the airport after, we saw a lot of the countryside because the taxi took a different way, and it was beautiful.
It's absolutely gorgeous.
It reminded me like the drive to the Okanagan, like when you're getting like the green hills and it's very foresty, but kind of get rid of the forest. It's just lush green everywhere.
And add sheep.
Add lots of sheep.
Tons of sheep.
Tons of sheep.
So
yeah.
true.
A lot of flat land, but it was beautiful.
I remember, and I know you remember this too, because we tried to take photos, but again, when we drove into an area, was Kerry was more northwest, right? Remember the Rings of Kerry? So
Kerry was southwest.
Yeah. So in the Rings of Kerry, I remember it was a long drive because my half brother Corey lives in Ireland, so he hosted us for a bit with his kids there, and we hung out and had a really good time, and he showed us a lot of Ireland. But we went through the Rings of Kerry, which was like a longer way to get to where he lived in Durris, which is a county of Cork, I think. And the Rings of Kerry, I remember so many times of almost having to stop because it looked fake.
It did.
How beautiful it was. It looked CGI. It looked like someone had just picked something out of the internet and just like hyper visualized the effects and just popped it onto the land. Like I kept saying to Erin, like, are you looking at this? It's so amazing. It was so gorgeous. The rolling landscapes, the lakes. Just
even like we came home and we were looking at pictures and we were like so disappointed because you're trying to explain to your family like this is nothing compared to the picture at all.
Yeah,
like
pictures don't do it justice.
Pictures don't do it justice. Yeah, you're literally driving along like cliffs and it's just it's gorgeous.
Yeah,
it was. Yeah, I enjoyed Cork. I liked. You're right. The cathedrals were in like the main like cities of Ireland because we went to, where else did we go? I mean, we went to
the ones you could walk through. Most of them are in the main.
Did you guys walk through a lot of cathedrals?
I think there was 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because by the end of it, we're like,
one. I always say it wrong. Some people will
Galway.
Galway. There is a right way of saying it. I just always say it wrong. And then Dublin and Cork.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dublin, Cork, and then we visited Belfast, which is technically Northern Ireland, but that's part of the UK. So technically, we're also in the United Kingdom as well as Europe.
Yeah.
Which is
so we
cool.
started off. We flew into Dublin. We literally were up for like over 24 hours, and we drove all the way to Northern Ireland.
That was a long day.
And then we drove all the way across Ireland.
But what did we do when we went to Northern Ireland? What did we do after 24 hours of no sleep? We went on a massive cliff hike. It
24
was,
hours of
what
no
do you
sleep?
call it? It was like a treacherous cliff walk. That was the description, and we were like, yeah, let's do it the first day we get it. So we flew out, got there at 8:30 in the morning, which was really like midnight our time, and then we did this cliff hike.
It was basically a second day.
Was it really hard? Was it really treacherous?
It's funny because you were saying, remember you were mentioning it. It was like, this is not like a hard treacherous hike. No. This is like it made we had what is the place in Vancouver the gross grind? The gross grind. Like they were like it was like they were comparing it to like the gross grind. It was they were imagining like
we had
tough mountainous cliffs. It's a walk.
We had to wear special shoes and they wouldn't let us wear them because they didn't have like ankle support. And then we're from Vancouver. I think we'll be okay. And it was like not hard at all. But I get why they did it. But it was a lot. Yeah.
That's probably the extent of their hikes. Yeah. They're like, oh, this is the hardest thing we have. It's treacherous. It's difficult. Yeah. When for you guys, you walk in, it's like, this is like, we do this all the time. Yeah. Like locally, we walk in our neighborhood and it's harder than this, right?
I will say that the weather was very similar, at least in Belfast, because it was it was raining all the time.
It was raining everywhere.
It was.
Yeah.
It was. The weather in Ireland does change like on a dime. Like it would be sunny, and then all of a sudden it would be showering. Like, yeah, it was.
Because did you guys go in the fall?
We went October 16th. Mm-hmm. So it was like 6 days. So 16th to like the 22nd or something. So it was we actually had really good weather. It was sunny the whole way. When we got there, it was sunny for the first 5 days, and then the way home on day 6, it was pouring rain. Yeah. Absolutely pouring rain. Even the taxi driver said, "Oh, I never see it this bad." And he was like falling asleep, driving us to the airport. Every time we get to a light, his eyes would close, and I'd have to be like, "Hey, so how about that Brexit, eh?" And he would talk. He would continue to talk and talk and talk, and that's how I kept him awake because it was brutal.
I wish you had a better taxi driver.
That wasn't bad, friend.
I am so sorry.
That's okay.
Anyways, we went on. Babe, what about the Blarney Stone?
Oh yeah, where they like. We went up to the Blarney Stone and we got gifted a book telling us where we should and should not go in Ireland.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, can I just say something, by the way?
Don't say the name, because then we don't want like haters hating us.
Wait, I'm saying it. Rick Steves.
You don't like Rick Steves?
He doesn't know what he's talking about.
No, okay.
Go ahead.
Fine.
I'll stop.
No, it's.
Go ahead.
I just feel like he has a different perspective than what we wanted in our vacation. So everything he said to do, we felt was eh. And everything he said don't do, we were like, this was the best thing ever.
It's exact opposite.
Yeah.
So what was it?
Go ahead. Oh, sorry, not to interrupt, but like, what was he saying not to do?
He said that the Blarney Stone was a waste of time.
He said the Blarney Stone. Yeah, he said the Blarney Stone you could pass on that, but I would say that up in the top 3, we'll get to it. But Giant's Causeway, Guinness Factory, and the Blarney Stone are my top 3 spots in Ireland. And for the Blarney Stone is really cool because. Like, I guess a little of the lore behind it was that, what was it? There was once a queen that owned land near Blarney, and for some reason, she had a stone that was up there, but the stone was somehow tied to. Do you remember what the story was?
Yeah,
there was something about gibberish.
Well, he was really good with his words, and like nobody liked her.
He was part of like the court.
Yeah,
right?
and he was like really good with his words, and so he would always like kind of know how to like kiss up to her.
Yeah, that's right.
And she gave him like the act of like. That's how the Blarney Stone came about, because he had like the act of like
gift of gab.
Yeah, gift
That's
of gab.
What it was.
So the idea is like once you kiss the stone, you get the gift of gab. Yeah.
So which I kind of sorry, go ahead.
When they say gab, they mean the gift of like talking?
Yeah.
Like
having the ability to like
dictate your
they say when you
words.
they say like when you get home, like ask for a raise.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
like that kind of thing. Yeah.
Gotcha.
I did not kiss the stone.
She didn't kiss it. You were up there with me because you videotaped me kissing it.
Because you get up there, you are literally going to die because you have a wall up to your waist and you're walking along and you look over and the people on the ground are the size of ants. That is how high it is. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to die. I'm going to die. And then I'm like, I can't do it. Because you have to go upside down. And then it's not even like... You're going straight across. Yeah, it's backwards, and they're actually scooting you down the wall. Yeah, and I'm like, I'm good.
Oh my
And I don't regret it. Like, I loved going, and I thought that was great that Ben could, but I don't regret not kissing the stone.
But you got right up to there, though. Like, could you have if you wanted to? But you're just like, I don't want to do it.
Yeah, they give you the option. They go, do you want to do it? And then I was like, no, I'm good.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
The guy has like, I did kiss it. I didn't kiss... I didn't get down far enough to kiss like the stone was, but because I thought I actually didn't kiss it properly when I went to go look at the video.
He's like, we have to go again.
There was a part that was like very like blacked out and weathered. That was the stone. So
good.
So I did kiss it. So
yeah.
And the funny thing is that the guy that's sitting beside there, he's got like a bottle of hand sanitizer. So every single time someone goes down and kisses it, he's cleaning off the area. So that's the next person because I bet you they go.
Could you imagine COVID in the Blarney Stone right now? Well, like. Sorry, don't mean to bring up. But like, I just thought about that. But back to what you're saying about being so close to it. Once you start in the castle, you don't go down. Like there's one way and there's one way down. Right?
I know exactly what you mean. Yeah.
The other thing that I thought was really cool, part of the Blarney Stone, Blarney Castle, what some people might not know is they have what's called a poison garden, and that was really cool. So they have. Don't know for whatever reason, but in the Blarney Stone, in the Blarney area, they have like some of the world's most famous and most deadly and poisonous like plants and herbs. So they've got like deadly nightshade. I didn't know that nightshade existed. I thought it was just like a Harry Potter
Lily
thing.
of the Valley.
Lily of the Valley. They got mandrake root. They've got opium.
Marijuana.
They had marijuana.
They had pot growing there?
Yeah.
Really? Like, and did it actually have like a thing on it that said, "Hey, this is marijuana"?
Yeah.
And one of them actually had like a little. One of them had like a little metal cover over it because if you actually touched it, like you'd probably like break out or.
What?
Yeah.
Yes.
It was either.
Yeah.
I think it might have been.
Do not touch.
Yeah, I think it was mandrake or something like that.
Wasn't there one too that could kill you if you touched her, not touch it, but maybe like
I think it's maybe you were ingested or if you kept like rubbing it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Is that the mandrake thing that was like that, or was it something else?
I'm not sure.
I remember when Benny came back, he showed me a photo of it, and it said something like that. It looked really interesting. I remember looking it up too.
I thought it was really cool.
There's just a lot to do there.
Yeah.
We stayed for an hour, but there was like you could stay there for all day.
At the Poison Garden,
like even just at the Blairstone, because they have caves, they have like this, like they have the castle, they have they have so much.
We went to
the Poison Garden,
we visited a couple like Game of Thrones spots. We visited like a cave that was used in one of the episodes where Renly's being crowned. We went to the place where they have the King's Guard in the very first episode when they're walking down that long path with those trees. We went down there and we saw someone that somehow was driving in it somehow, and they didn't see the signs that it was private property. We saw someone back up their car on basically like the King's Guard.
It literally says no cars allowed. Like it's not hard to miss it.
Yeah.
Jesus.
We went to a place that like shaped by volcanoes called like the Giant's Causeway. That was really cool. I took a selfie of myself like standing up high because they looked like ants again from there. That was gorgeous.
Yeah.
The three-headed castle is probably my favorite though, because there was this Corey and his two kids took us on this kind of walkway that seemed to go on forever, and it was up north in Durrus. And once we got kind of over these ridges and through this little valley by a small little lake, there was this kind of broken up castle that had like 3 parapets that were just standing up amongst like the sky, and it was just gorgeous. Like it was just, I still have that. It's like one of my favorite photos we've ever taken. Mm-hmm. That to me was probably one of the highlights. It was just so gorgeous.
That's cool.
Ireland was it was amazing.
And
amazing food. Yeah. I couldn't believe how good the food was.
What was your favorite meal?
It's got to be the breakfast.
Oh yeah, you had a turkey. Turkey sandwich thing?
Well, it was what the Irish consider to be like an American Thanksgiving bagel.
Yeah. What?
And it was a bagel, like an old-fashioned bagel with turkey and bacon in it with mashed potatoes and gravy and cranberry sauce. Oh. And then they toasted it, and it was just...
Well, and you know what, Mike? The food is good, but I feel like you do so much in the day and you don't eat that once you do eat, it's just good nonetheless because you're so hungry. The pizza, though, like, yes, the pizza was a lot. It was really good.
But that was from Belfast.
But I also feel like it was because we were so hungry that we were like, this is the best ever.
Yeah. I don't know. I kind of disagree. I feel like everything just tasted a lot more natural there and a lot more like not as processed or as preservative used here. That's what I felt like. I just felt so good.
Well, I also think that when you're in a new place and you're like, you guys are on a vacation, right? So you guys are in a different mindset. You guys are going in there thinking, hey, let's try different things. Let's go on an adventure.
Yeah.
And then when you do all these things, then you have the food there. It just makes it that much better. Mm-hmm. And it amplifies it more so rather than getting skip the dishes here, getting a pizza delivered. Yeah, it's still good, but it's not the same as going to Ireland and getting pizza there. It's just a different experience. So it's gonna be better. Yeah, 100%.
We had lots of stuff there. I mean, there was weird things they had like in the grocery stores. They had hot dogs in a jar. They had the Smuckers. It was like peanut butter and jam in a jar, but it was a spread. Like, they don't have that here.
Did you try that?
No, but I wanted to.
So it was mixed together.
It's like line. Like you can see the peanut butter jam, like in,
it's funny because
and like vertical lines around the jar.
It sounds so good.
It's really funny because I think it was a figure 8 is what they called it, figure 9 or whatever they're called. The stores. It was funny. Like Corey and his kids are there. And we were getting groceries one time, and they had circle 9.
Seven. Circle 7. But there's one here. There's one here.
There is.
There
it's
is.
Off of like 200.
And I was like, oh my goodness.
thought it was in Ireland.
Like, absolutely, because I've never seen one before. And then I was driving on 200. I'm like, what?
Are you talking about like convenience store?
Yeah.
It's like Circle K.
Circle K, yes.
Yeah. Well, all the Mac. Remember all the Macs that were here before? So all the Macs got converted to Circle Ks.
Yeah, that surprised me.
I didn't know that was it. Was that actually in Ireland?
Yes, all over Ireland.
Their main convenience
store. We used to go there and get sandwiches all the time because they had a really, really good BLT sandwich at the corner store. And
they probably have them here. They probably have the same BLT sandwich.
Yeah, they were good.
I also noticed when we were like, just walking through the streets in different places, like there seemed to be such like a different mosh of people. Like people from all around the world seem to be there. I mean, maybe that's just a very European thing that there's all walks of life and everyone kind of surrounded. But I thought it was just so cool to just see so many different types of cultures there, And by the way, people, the Lucky Charm thing is not an Irish thing. It is totally Americanized. Like you won't go into like a pub. You don't go into like like an Irish pub or like an Irish convenience store and you don't see a Lucky Charm. It's not the whole Lucky Charm. That's not a thing. That's an American made.
Well, it's in their like gift shops.
But it's in the gift shops because they think that that's what people want to buy. But really, like the harp, which kind of like
the Guinness harp. The Guinness harp. I knew it was going to trigger you.
You knew it was going to get me. So, but okay, well, we can. Guinness is one thing, but go ahead. I know you're going to say.
What? You know what I'm going to say?
Are you going to talk about how my pour was terrible and yours was amazing?
No, I was going to talk about how you're trying to convince me for over like 6 months since we went to Ireland that we should both get harp tattoos. And I'm like,
I want a harp. You don't have to get a harp tattoo. I want a harp. See,
there's a branded beer there called Harp.
Okay, here's the thing.
And they have a harp. You should get that one.
No,
so it's by Guinness too. That's why I think it's
here's the thing. Just a bit of backstory. Like Guinness is massive in Ireland. It was basically, I think his name was Arthur Guinness, and basically the story behind him was that during their Civil War days or whatever, they needed something. It's so hard to explain. Regardless of how the story goes, he basically had like a 9,000-year lease in one part in Ireland, and he was able to.
Didn't he get it for $1?
When they were the place where they built the Guinness factory. Yeah, he bought it for like next to nothing.
Yeah,
and it was like what, 1,000-year lease.
So he got it for 9,000-year lease to use the lands to like create.
And then it's
And do you remember walking in, because when we went, do you remember walking in the Guinness factory and looking straight down?
Yeah.
And there was the original signed
paper
contract.
And that's the thing. That's the nice thing about the Guinness factory is it's all built like a Guinness glass, right?
Yeah,
like a pint glass.
Cool.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
But
okay.
Then and I poured our Guinness, and mine was perfect.
It was a perfect pint. Mine was not.
No, his was overfilling on the sides. The guy was like so disappointed in him. Yeah.
It was so delicious.
And I was the first one. I was the one that was like, okay, I'll go first. I'll just try it. And it was perfect.
Did you like it, Erin?
Oh, it was my favorite beer.
Did you drank the whole thing?
And I finished Ben's.
What?
Yeah.
Benny, how much of yours did you drink? Were you just sad that you didn't pour it properly? Is that what?
A bit depressed.
No, you let me finish it.
Guaranteed he threw a little bit of a fit. He's like, no, I wish. Guaranteed it bothered me.
It was a bit of
I have a video of me like pointing out Ben's and then pointing out mine, and I still play it to him because I like to brag about it.
Okay, you know what's funny? So not to like take away from that, but when we went to the Guinness factory, I did the same thing. Caroline, perfect pour, and then I went up and it was garbage. He's like, okay, pull it back, and I'm like, okay, and it started flowing more, and he's like, no, wrong way, and then he pulled it back, and he goes, what did he say? I think he said, I'm glad I'm doing it, not you. And then everyone laughed.
Thanks.
Except for me,
because you have to do it in front of like your group.
Yep. There's like
of people.
There was 5 of us. They all nailed it, and here I go thinking, oh yeah, like I got this. I drink beer.
I feel like that's what you did. You pulled it the wrong way, or like you pulled it too far forward.
Yeah, I think I overflowed it too.
But to be fair, I don't think he explained it that well.
But obviously he did, because Caroline did it perfectly.
Oh, that's true.
There wasn't like there was a lot of rules for us to follow. It's just literally pour and then push back up.
Yeah, but if I forget it easily. Like if he's like, oh, do this, I'm like, oh, I got this. Fuck up like that instantly. It's done. It happens a lot.
Fun fact: do either of you remember the degrees Celsius that they cook the beans at to make it perfect?
No.
1 degree over, they burn it. 1 degree less, it doesn't kind of have that kind of chocolatey aftertaste.
Really?
No, I don't remember the degree.
232 degrees Celsius. It's the exact. There was such a. I just love the Guinness experience because it was such a science to make it. It was such a cool experience. I loved that there was a history of civil war involved with it, like all of like the propaganda that was like, oh, perfect time for a Guinness, and they would impact that because there's a huge history of of civil war between the Irish and the British and things like that.
And that was their like commodity. It was Guinness, right? Yeah. And the cool thing is walking down, you see all the old Guinness signs. They all serve Guinness. Every single bar. Well, no, is it true, or is it just certain pubs that are licensed to serve
the other big one is Smithwick's.
Smithwick's is a big one.
The other big one is Smithwick's. There's another one, but Guinness is like their staple. You'll see Guinness signs and not propaganda, but like posters all throughout Ireland.
But I wonder, the one thing we didn't do is we didn't go into a super traditional Irish pub where it was non-touristy.
Really either. We did visit the Temple Bar though.
We went in front of that, but it was closed. So did you guys actually go in?
Would that be considered a tourist bar?
I'd say it's touristy, but it's also like old too.
We did not go in.
I went in.
Oh yeah.
There was someone filming something, and I was like, "Fuck it, I'm going into the Temple Bar."
I got my like
once in a lifetime
favorite pictures in front.
It's a great photo, and it's so gorgeous. I remember we were actually walking close, and we thought, "Oh, this is the Temple Bar," but it's like a knockoff.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of those. Yeah.
But
it's literally looks the exact same, and then you're like, "Oh," and people. Well, some people were like, "What the frick are you guys doing?" Because we're like, "Look, it's the temple," and then we're like, "Oh, wait, never mind, it's not."
Well, I want to touch on like one more thing too, because we also went to visit the Titanic Belfast, and I didn't know, but like Titanic, it started from Belfast, right? So when it went on its voyage, and then we all know the story of Titanic and how tragic it is, but it's not like the word's not cool, but it's almost kind of very harrowing to look at how the story goes from it, and they show you how like they were telling people, some of the stewards of the ship were telling people to go back to bed. It's nothing, and then of course what happens, because they thought that there was something wrong with it, but they were saying, oh no, we're just gonna dig more coals into it. It's just something wrong with like one of the mechanical things. It's not a big deal.
They knew it wasn't ready to sail.
It wasn't ready to sail.
And they went on anyways. And then there was the sister ship, the Charlotte, is that
something like that? Yeah.
Anyways, but they knew there was problems that they masked. And then it was kind of tragic. It could have been avoided.
Yeah. That's interesting. Sounds like a cool trip.
Oh, it was so good. One of the best trips ever. Thank you, Corey, for being an amazing host. That was so great to be able to have some spots not to pay money for like 3 nights.
Well, and even just for someone to go like and take us around places where you would have no idea it was even like the Three-Headed Castle, like one of Ben's favorite things. We would have never have come across that if it wasn't for him. Yeah,
he was just so gracious, and he was able to, put us up for 3 nights, and we all bonded, and it was a great time, and we love that he was able to kind of just show us a bit of what they go through on a daily basis and how gorgeous it was there. So
have you guys ever met him before up until that point, or was that the first time?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's always come through. He's been he came to families to Christmases and things like this, but he's always kind of lived abroad. So he's lived in like New York before. Lived in, I think he's lived in New York.
How long did he live in New York for?
A long time.
My mom and dad went to there for a bit, and they visited him in New York, and they went to go see like a couple plays in New York and things like that. He's always been like the guy to go to see, like if you want something, you go to him for it. So he's also like he does like voice acting and things like that.
Okay,
so
that's cool.
That's also
really cool. When he he's always been like a voice actor, so that's when he travels, it's like freedom to move around and that kind of thing. Yeah. He's got like a studio set up in his place, like everywhere he goes, kind of thing.
Yeah, it's
remotely.
He dabbles in dabbles in quite a few things, like photography and stuff like that.
Yeah. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah, I think West Cork Weekends is his Instagram page, so it's actually really cool. I think it's West Cork Weekends.
Check it out. It's actually legit.
So gorgeous.
Beautiful things.
Yeah. That sounds awesome.
They go castle hunting every weekend.
Castle hunting?
Castle hunting.
Castle hunting.
Castle hunting.
They go every week. They're always finding new ones?
Yeah, so he has kids, and he takes them out, and they go castle hunting.
Oh, that's so much fun.
And they'll just take photos, and he'll sometimes post some of them that he finds.
They're just gorgeous.
Sounds amazing. And it's a good bonding experience, too.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I hate to wrap it up, but we're getting close to that time. So, Erin, thank you again for joining us today.
Thanks for letting me invite myself.
Yeah. No. Well,
it was coming 20 meters over. I love you.
Yeah.
So thanks again, Erin. And Ben, what do you think? That wasn't a bad podcast.
That was good.
That was good.
That was also genuine.
That was genuine. I don't think I'll be starting off the next episode the same way as this one. But now that we can laugh about it, we'll go on from there. Yeah. So thanks again, guys, for listening.
Yeah, and we'll see you in the next one.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.